Well, that was mildly a disaster, but we did, pressing the wrong buttons, we did get 2 beacons, which is very fancy. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video here on the world of Bangboomme Adventures, super awesome Let's Play of Zoom. And we're starting off today over here at the trading hall, where we've got ourselves 2 beacons, as we just saw, and in this chest, if the golem wants to get out of our way, we've got a whole bunch of backup stuff. Backup armor right here. We can take this off. And I'm gonna keep this one up for now. We got librarians, but we're probably gonna do more villages at some point, so I'll keep it up till we get the full thing, and until we get them like set up in a proper trading hall instead of the little stone thing. So we'll keep that one up for now. Well, it's been a couple of days since I last recorded on here. Yeah, I've been busy doing recording stuff over on BlockSMP Embassy, which is a series that you should check out. But I've decided that I want to knock some stuff off this wall here, and I'm thinking we're gonna get to a couple farms today because I need gold. I need gold to cure more villagers and stuff. If we're gonna do a full-on trading hall, we're gonna need a whole lot of gold for a whole lot of curing. So I need to get many gold. So we need to get a gold farm, and I also want to get to this honeycomb farm because all of the copper that we got around the place over there, I can't zoom key, but all the copper we got in there and stuff, it's all just starting to oxidize and everything, and I want it to look partially partially weathered, you know, like a little bit's oxidized, but a lot of it's not, but some of it's a little bit oxidized and stuff. So I need to get honeycomb, obviously, to do all that. So we're going to try today to knock out a gold farm and to knock out a honeycomb farm. Gold farm first. The only problem with doing a gold farm is I like portal designs, and they take a lot of obsidian. I think that this should probably be just about enough obsidian for our purposes.
Case 549, Day 1, 12:47 p.m. I took Frank over to the client's house to get a first observation.
Now that we've got all this obsidian, however, we need to figure out where we're going to build this and get some kind of materials that we can build it out of, besides, you know, all the obsidian. We need to get like other blocks to build, and we need something that we can get a lot of and a large area, because this is going to be quite big. I think that the block that I'm going to use for scaffolding and stuff is going to be glass, because that means that I'm going to be able to watch all the piglins, you know, spawn and carry over and fall down to their deaths and everything. And also, we can buy glass from villagers. So if I need to, I can just come over here, spend a couple of days trading with these guys for a whole bunch more glass, and we'll be able to get everything. But with that taken care of, we just need to find a place now. I'm thinking that we'll build it over in this area right here, because it's not too far from the rest of this, but it's also far enough away that something as big as I think this is going to turn out to be won't just massively dwarf these two structures over here. We can, you know, fill in a nice area over here, kind of expand the place that we're starting to build in, and then we can fill in the area between, you know, the gold farm and those two areas with a couple more bigger buildings, and slowly bring the scale up to how big I think that's going to be. But before I keep going on about how big that's going to be, let's actually get a little bit of scaffolding kind of blocks in, just so you guys can see exactly what I'm planning for this. Okay, so the sun's setting. Anyway, this is the rough blueprint of it. So we've got the bottom, all that's going to be how big this is on the horizontal flat side, whatever terms I want to use, and then it's going to go at least that high, and then like 46 blocks above that. This thing's gonna be pretty tall. Let me get a little bit more in, and then I can explain a little bit more of what's going on here. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna try and do is sort out the water streams before I get anything built up. So this is how far out this needs to be. I think I might be able to bring it out a little bit further. The pigments are totally gonna zip past some of these. They're just gonna make their way, so they're gonna fall down. There's gonna be a room down here in the middle that they're gonna be able to fall into, and the water will push them back into the trident killers. So I'm just going to try and figure out how to do all this. First, I'm going to get some signs, I think, put some signs up above these buttons, so instead of sinking slowly through, they'll just instantly fall down once they get pushed over. And we'll see exactly how badly that messes up all of this. All right, and I think that this should work properly. So any of them that just come along here, they'll just fall straight down. Any that don't will eventually get swept along, drop down to this secondary area, and then get swept over into one of the trident killers from down here. There are no dead spaces down here. You will always get pushed along and up top here because how it works, there are no dead spaces up here either. With us now having solved what was one of the biggest problems with this building any gold farm in any previous seasons out of the way, water has always been the biggest pain in the backside. We can now just keep expanding this glass platform until it's the length that we need it to be, which is pretty big. All right, now we've got all the water in. So we've got this big old platform here, which is where the 4 outer things are going to go, and then these 4 little offshoots, which will hold the 2 outside ones on each side. And this just adds to the water flow to run down here, because otherwise there were dead spots. This way we still have a dead spot, but that should be, if you can see right down there, that's not quite going to be within any spawning range. It's not going to be right underneath any of the portal frames or the portal blocks themselves. So there should be no piglins spawning in this area right here as it is. Everything else flows like normal and would drop them off to the chutes. So what I'm going to do now is take all this obsidian. Ow, thanks, skeleton. Put all of the portals actually into place. And when I get back, Alex... Crap. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, now I'm just going to take all the obsidian, put all of the actual portals onto here. Once we get all the portals set up, I'll explain a little bit more about why there's so many portals and how exactly this farm works. So I got one of the portals in, and then I started getting the second one in, and I realized I should probably light the first one first. Okay, well, this is irritating. I ran out of obsidian. I need to get more obsidian, and I've already, oh my goodness, I've already done so much obsidian mining today. But yep, need to get a little bit more, a couple more portals here, and then gotta do the other like 8 on the outside. So back down to the mines I go. Case 549, 5:07 p.m. Interrogated client's cat. Well, having put all the portals in and been down here long enough to just rip out, like, oh my goodness, they're back again. We just ripped out all the terracotta here and killed all the piglins that spawned just during that time, and we got a whole gold block from that. So as you can see, they're spawning in very quickly. But yeah, now we've got all the portals in, so now we can talk about a little more about what exactly we're doing here. Okay, so pigmen will spawn on these portal blocks. As you can see, they're all spawning there, so they'll spawn on the positive side of portals. So if we stand, let's take this one for example, right? If we move over here, look at the Z coordinate, goes from -427 to -426. This one is +1, so this side is positive. So pigmen on this axis will always spawn on these side of the portals, and on this side, this way is positive, so pigmen will always spawn on these side of portals. Pigmen spawn after a little time of portals being up. They'll just randomly spawn while portals are active, and they'll also spawn at a higher chance whenever portals lit. If portals lit, then they have a high chance of spawning. So if we take some portals and we flick them on and off really fast, then pigmen will spawn really fast. And that's what we're going to do with these outside portals. We're going to put a little bit of redstone in on connecting all of these 3 outside portals on all 4 sides. And they're going to turn the portals on and off really fast, so we get lots of pigmen spawning really fast. The ones in the middle are just going to be permanently on and will passively just provide a lot of pigmen, because, I mean, they're piling up really fast down there. So I kind of need to get the trident killers in. But first, I'm going to get the... No, I'm going to get the trident killers in. I can't let these guys go any longer. So I'm going to go off. I'm going to get the trident killer stuff and put all 4 trident killers in down below. And then I'll be back to get the redstone and to get these outer 12 portals to turn on and off. The trident killers are in, and it's pretty loud. So I'll come up here, but warning, tridents are pretty loud. The pigmen's dying are pretty loud. Of course, this isn't quite as chaotic as it will be once we get the flashing portals on, but it runs pretty fast, even as it is. But there's still a little bit more work to be done. Of course, we still got to get the storage system in, which probably going to have to wait till we get, dang it. Probably going to have to wait till we get more, some kind of iron farm or something, because I don't have the amounts of iron that I would need for all the hoppers and stuff to keep up with this thing. What I should have done first was build a actual iron farm. But, you know, I decided to go gold farm first, but I should have done an iron farm. It is what it is. We just won't be able to get the actual storage in today. We're going to have to come back another episode and do that, but we can do that with decoration and everything. I want to get a actual system in here. There's going to be a minecart that runs around here, making sure that I am picking up all the XP by just sending me around while I'm AFK. Second thing is to get all the trident killers hooked up to a lever so I can turn them all on and off with one flip. Gotta get a little bit of redstone running around between all the different ones. And the last thing, of course, is to get the actual flicking portal redstone up there. So when we ever want to do the super fast, get tons of gold in 1 second run of this farm, we will be able to do that with the actual redstone in. So I'm going to do all 3 of those things that I just mentioned, and I'll be right back, and we can move on to the honeycomb farm. Okay, then. We now have the minecart installed, so we can just spin around in circles. And it is fast enough to keep going around, unless if there's probably a super massive lag spike, but it should be good. And we should be able to be safely AFK in here and picking up all the XP and everything. And down here, we now have this little thing, which if I flip the lever on there and flip that, it should stop the things from... that would explain it. The redstone all got washed out. But you may be wondering, what about the redstone up at the top? What about the redstone that changes all the portals and makes them flicker and stuff? And the thing is, you need flint and steel for that. But the thing is, because having flint and steel, you know, means you need to have lots of iron, and we don't have enough iron to even put in the storage system on this thing. I don't think there's any reason for us to put the redstone in on top, especially because this has good enough rates as it is without that. So I'm just going to wait till we get that iron farm built, and then once we put the storage system in, then we can give it a shot, see how good it is, see if it's good enough, see if we can survive without having the ticking portals. And if we need the ticking portals, we can then put the redstone in at that point after we already have a infinite supply of iron to use in it. What we're going to go off and do right now is work on a honeycomb farm.
Case 549, 8:26 p.m. We observed the suspicious sheep.
Alright, so the first thing that we have to do is get a hold of some more honeycomb to make some more bees' nests and everything, but it's not going to be easy to do that over here. So I think we should just take all the beehives down. Let's check to see if they're full, and that means that they've got some amount of bees in them. We'll take all the beehives down that have honey, and try not to tramp the crops. And we'll put them in a separate building where we can take out the honeycomb and start breeding up more bees to use. I think that we've succeeded at our goal of breeding up many bees. These bees don't seem to have anywhere to go, even though there's I feel like there should be plenty of open space in any of these, because it doesn't feel like I've bred up this many bees. I'm not sure quite how full any of these hives are, and I don't think they all need to be perfectly full. I can always come through and breed all these up. We're gonna put the nest back onto their little poles in the farmland and take these hives to somewhere where we're going to set up the actual farm. There's at least 3 that didn't have any bees in them. Oh well, no problem. We can breed them up. Okay, so step 1 is done. We got all the beehives in and stuff, and I really like the way this looks. It's a nice little use of this small little crevice down there, and it's just a small little detail that people could not notice, or you could just be like, oh look, bees. It's very cute down there. But now, of course, we got pressing F5 way too many times. Now we gotta actually put the redstone in, so we gotta, you know, measure all the honeycomb stuff and put all the dispensers in so it actually automatically collects the stuff. And then we're gonna need minecart rails to be running around the place to be picking everything up, which is something I didn't think about because rails take iron. Okay, so I think the thing's basically finished. We got a lot of dead bees, unfortunately. And yeah, that's just accidents happen, and a lot of bees got angry at me, so I'm slowly just rebreeding up the bees. But we've got the minecart system in chest down here that is picking up all the honeycomb. I think we do have a little bit of loss probably where the honeycomb, instead of popping out in the front, is popping out in the back into the redstone. But there's nothing I can really do about that. That's just how it's gonna have to be. So we're just gonna deal with a slight bit of loss. It's fine. But we don't have any honey bottles being collected yet. And that's because I completely misguessed. That was not right. Try that again. There we go, first try. That's because the redstone isn't actually hooked up over here, and that's because I need to get more bottles. Because all the dispensers are basically going to have to be full of bottles. So we're actually going to pick up the bottles, because if this isn't full of empty bottles, right, if there's a thing missing here and it collects a honey bottle, that honey bottle will go right there, which means that we aren't picking it up. And that's just going to be irritation. So instead, we're going to fill them all full of honey, or all full of regular bottles. And then, of course, we do have to add in a filling system up here. So we're going to need to put like hoppers down, get a couple of minecarts running back, or get a minecart running back and forth just to drop more bottles into here. Have some place where we can just drop in bottles and they'll run into here. And we'll have to do the same with this. And that means that I need to get a lot more sand, and I need to smelt down a lot more sand just to make the amount of bottles that I need. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be back once we get the minecart systems in and all the glass filled up, and we can put in the redstone to get this thing running. I just realized that to actually get all the minecart systems in, I'm gonna need 18 hoppers, and I don't have that much iron. This is really pathetic. Can we just take a moment to appreciate just how cool the gold farm looks? It just adds so much life to that area right there. I love it so much. All right then, we've got the entire place filled up with glass bottles. Took far too long, but it's all full of glass bottles now, so we can put in these final 9 pieces of redstone dust. Let's see if I can remember correctly. Hey, excellent. We drop these on. We just see all the lights turn off. Excellent. And down below here, we might not be able to see it in time. They probably have gotten picked up, and they should be being dropped off down here. Excellent. So now we got honey that we can munch on. Nom, 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 nom. And we can obviously turn it into honey blocks. And then we have to replace the glass bottles, obviously, and put them back into there, which I'm not going to do that right now because that's going to be a little bit of a hassle. I'm going to start doing that once I get the actual rail systems set up, so we can just, you know, put them all into a chest in the end. They'll just automatically get sorted in there. And we're going to get to doing that tomorrow as well, or tomorrow. We're going to get to doing that in the next episode, as well as doing the storage over there at the gold farm, which we couldn't do either of those things because we don't have iron. So the next one on my agenda, next episode, we're going to build an iron farm. But before I do that, in between episodes, I'm probably going to take all the honeycomb from down here. I can't reach it. We're going to take all the honeycomb from down here, and we're going to go around and place it on all the copper that we got lying around the place, all the copper in here, and make sure the stuff looks is permanently saved exactly how I want it to look. You know, whether I want it to be that shade, or maybe I want this one to be like that, this one like that one looks good like that, that's good. We'll brighten that one up, brighten that up, and save those two, and so on and so forth. You know, we'll just get all the copper done up. But we'll do all of that between episodes, and next episode, like I said, we're going to get to work on an iron farm so we can get the gold farm storage system and the honey farm item distribution system thing set up. So look forward to that in the next episode, and I look forward to seeing all of you all in the next episode, because that's going to be the end of this one here today. So I would just like to say thank you all ever so much for watching this video. It really does mean a lot to me, so leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to catch more videos from me in the future. And with that said, I'll see all of you all in the next one. So, God bless, have a fantastic day. I'll take off the pig head for the ending. Goodbye!